Toya said hi.
Hi, Toya. We're going to be talking about today how to declutter your brand when your brand is heading in so many different directions.
First and foremost, let me just say, I'm in Orlando. I'm no longer in Georgia. And we're here at the Bakers Connect crib. And I want to say thank you for inviting me. I've been having fun. We've been hanging out in our pajamas all day.
And she's been cussing me out.
I've definitely been cussing her
a lot.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tasha said hi.
Hey, Tasha. It's my friend.
Hey, my friends.
Okay.
Oh, let me invite people to the conversation.
Florida Bakers Club is here.
Hey!
Okay, so I'm going to do how you do. There's an arrow. It looks like a little paper plane. It's like an arrow. She calls it a paper plane. And you push the share button, and then you can invite people over.
They said hi, ladies.
Hi. You can invite people.
Y'all don't know who y'all are saying hi to.
We don't know.
That was Florida's Bakers Club said hi, ladies.
No, yeah, I know who that is.
Oh, no, but I didn't tell y'all before. And then Toya and they said, welcome to Florida.
And behind the camera, Shayna, everybody say, hey, Shayna.
Hey, Shayna.
Okay, so yeah,
I'm hitting the arrow at the bottom to invite people
to come in and join the conversation, ask any questions, any feedback. We're open to it. So we're going to give you guys a minute to go ahead and share the button.
La 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 la. Can I see? Yeah. I'm excited for Tip Tuesday. I'm excited to see.
This is Tip Tuesday. I forgot to say that.
Welcome to Tip Tuesday.
Welcome to Tip Tuesday episode.
Uno.
Okay.
Oh, it said I was sharing too much. It literally told me I was sharing too much. Cool. Oh, she said welcome to Florida. Thanks. I kind of live here, kind of hashtag don't, but yes, I kind of do. But not low-key, though. I low-key live here in Fort Lauderdale. All right, so what do you want to talk about? Brands
that are like super cluttered. Okay. So when you have an idea and you have multiple ideas at one time and you're like, oh, I want to bake, I want to make cookies, I want to make apples, I want to do cupcakes, I want to make t-shirts, and then I want to do tumblers. Jillian is dropping the product.
Did I drop something? No, I didn't drop it. I was side by bed. So you want to talk brands?
Yes.
Okay.
That's going in so many different directions.
Okay.
That you need to kind of make a decision.
Okay.
About what you're going to do.
Right. So you want my take on that?
Yes.
Okay. So let me just rephrase it to be some sort of like something. Okay. So you're asking me what do I think about people in the sweets community?
Yes.
And they're kind of all over the place.
Yes.
Because it's multiple things they're trying to do.
Yes.
For example, what I've seen in the sweets community are people who do desserts, people who do all types of desserts. When I say all types, bun cakes, cake pops, cookies, all those things, and then go, oh, and I also do meal prep. Oh, and I also do dinners. Oh, and I also do exercising. Oh, also I'll do your taxes. Yes. Oh, also I'll do all this. Like, you have a list of things, and then you're wondering why you're not getting the customers you want.
Yes.
Is basically what you're asking me.
Yes, or even maintaining it.
Right.
Or you get one person to be like, oh yeah, I want cupcakes, and oh, by the way, can you add popcorn?
Right.
And can you do some extra?
Right.
And you feel like, I need to do all these things to secure the client.
Right.
But in actuality, you're driving yourself crazy.
Right. I think, okay, so when I started out in the baking community, I started out doing everything and anything within the baking community, meaning whatever my customer wanted, I provided for them. Oh, can I get a sweet table? Sure. Hey, can I get cupcakes? Sure. Hey, can I get these cookies or cake pops? I just said yes to everything. I was allowing my customer to dictate my business because I thought that as a baker, you're supposed to do everything. And I didn't really understand what I was really getting myself into. I was just over my head. Like, I didn't understand what was going on. So it wasn't until I literally started going, let me take all of this off my menu. Like, I decluttered my menu. I took it all off. And I was like, okay, what do I enjoy doing in the baking community? Okay. So it was like, I like doing cakes and I like doing cupcakes. And if anybody wants to purchase the edible toppers, that's it. Like, that's as far as I wanted to go.
Okay, but that's a bit advanced, edible toppers. Like, how did you get to the point where it was like, this is too much? So when you're starting out, and you feel like you need to do all these things because you really don't know. Yeah. And you feel as if I need to make money. I know I want to make money, I just don't know how. I know I need to have a flyer, the basics, but how did I figure out what I wanted to bake because it's expensive?
Yeah, I think the easiest, and this is a question I've been getting a lot lately. A lot of my students ask that question, like, how did you figure out what you want to do? Because I'm currently stuck in this transition of thinking I have to do everything. And I figured it out through trial and error. There's no way in hell that I was able to figure out, like, oh, I enjoy doing cupcakes if I never did the cupcakes. You understand what I'm saying? And then there's a limit to it. Do you want to provide your customers with mini cupcakes, regular size cupcakes, or those giant, ridiculous cupcakes? You know what I mean? Which is really just a regular cake by that time. So you have to actually just kind of put yourself out there, try these different things, and go through that trial and error period for a short period of time. The problem is a lot of people do it for years and years and years, and then go, I don't know why my baking business isn't hitting the ground. And it's basically because you're confused, and if you're confused, that's what you're pulling off to your customer. Your customer's confused. They're like, well, I don't know what they're doing. They're talking about they do taxes, but are they going to do these cupcakes? Like, so it's like you have so much going on, you yourself don't even have a direction. So I think it was easier for me to start realizing what I enjoy. I enjoyed sculpting. That's the reason I did the toppers. Okay. I enjoyed the cupcakes because they were really easy and simple. Okay. And the cakes were more of the extravagant. And it's not that I enjoyed having to spend all that time on it. I enjoyed the money that I was able to get from that. Okay. So then I had to look at the money aspect of it. And then, as I got further and further in my business, I started taking more stuff away where I had just one direction. All I do is cakes, and they all have to be over a certain price point. Yes. And if they're not over the price point, then I say, nah, I don't want to do it. It's not worth. I'm not going to turn my oven on. It's not worth my time. Yes. You know what I mean? Okay. So now, if you want to order cupcakes, you got to order this $400 cake from me first, and then you can get some cupcakes. And they have to be at least 24 to 48 cupcakes. You can't be like ordering just 12, half a dozen. Like, okay. I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
We have our first question.
Oh, yes.
So first question is, should you focus on one thing first? So how you said, so if you have a baking business and you do cakes, you do cupcakes, you do cookies, you do cake jars, should you focus on one thing first and then build from there? Or do you continue offering all those things?
No. Start somewhere because it becomes expensive when you start doing so many things. Mm-hmm. And let's not get into the scratch baker. Mm-hmm. Now, when I started, that's what I was doing because in my mind, that's what a baker is. I'm going to bake from scratch. I'm going to get everything that I need so I can provide you a service. Well, I wasn't making any money because it cost me $50 in ingredients to do what you needed, and I'm only charging you $30. Right. Well, I just paid you to make you cupcakes. Yeah. And that made no sense. So if you focus on one thing, and here's the thing, there's a skill with it. You can't just say, like Jelena, price point is $400, but she can do that. Mm-hmm. If you are at $100 level, you can't say my base price is $400 because I'm expecting $400 work. Right. So find one thing, perfect it, and then start adding things on. But don't overwhelm yourself in the process because you're saying, oh, if I do this, it'll be better because Sue Joe down the street does it. Well, guess what?
Yes, but look at, she learned it. Look at God, learned it. Okay.
Because Sue Joe down the street offers, so guess what? I can offer you this. This is what I offer. But Jelena,
who's Sue Joe? Whose name is Sue Joe? Who is this?
Listen, at least I didn't call him my usual stuff, okay? Anyways.
If so Miami.
Listen, don't come for me, okay? Listen, she's been coming for me all day, okay? I don't need this kind of person in my life, alright? So, if someone else offers something you don't, it's okay to refer them.
Exactly.
You're not going to lose anything.
It's okay to say no. You don't have to take every order. And I'm actually, like she hit on a good point. Tasha hit on a good point. Like, at the end of the day, you're just starting out, right? You don't know what you're doing. So start out with something, one thing at a time, get it right, and then move on. And start adding more things. The problem is with a lot of people, in any business, it's not even just the baking community, in any business, when you've put everything on your menu, you've now cluttered your mind. You're all over the place, okay?
Like going to a restaurant.
Exactly.
That has so many options. And
exactly. And you don't know what you and if you give your customers too many options, they don't really know what they want. Customers don't know what they want. They want you to tell them what they want. They need you to say, I specialize in the best red velvet cake in the entire world, and you want to order that from me. That's my direction. I'm selling my red velvet cake, and I only offer them in these 2 sizes because I've perfected that. Okay? If you can stand by that, just like in the class, my pricing with confidence class, if you can stand by what you're saying, it's because you're confident enough to tell the customer, listen, I can sell you this. I can sell the best tasting food to somebody who doesn't even have taste buds because that's how good my stuff is.
Yeah.
And then when you're able to do that, then you could go, okay, now I'm going to add on vanilla cake. I'm gonna rock the shit out of this one. When you add on so much stuff at once, that's when your mind gets cluttered. And then here is another thing. So many people are trying to keep up with social media. Okay? All y'all out there are trying to just add on and add on. Oh, I'm gonna offer cake pops, right? And now and then I gotta do cupcakes, but then I gotta do a cake in a jar. No. God damn it, cake in a jar and cupcakes are the same thing. They just come in a cute little jar. Mm-hmm. You're doing too much. You're trying to keep up because you saw someone else do it. And you go, oh, I can do that too. You know, that's gonna make me money. Listen, there's a little saying that I know. Islanders have 50 million jobs. Okay? They're the tax person, they'll fix your credit,
the
lawman, they'll do it all, okay? But the difference is, Islanders are 100% hustlers, okay? If you're trying to build a business, I'm not trying to hustle you to buy some cupcakes. Yeah. I'm trying to build a business. I'm trying to build a brand. Stop trying to keep up with everybody on social media. Because everybody on social media may not be making it. I've seen an article come out last year of this girl who did beautiful, I don't know if she still does, but she does beautiful wedding cakes. And she came out with an article, and she says, through my years of doing wedding cakes, I haven't made any money as a baker in the baking community.
I saw that.
Right. And I had touched base on this on my Instagram. Yeah. My thing is that it was hard for her to gain money because maybe she didn't take a moment to stop and go, what's going to make me money versus what's not, and maybe I should stop keeping up with social media. Because that helps when you go, what do I can contribute to my business, not what everybody else is contributing. Yeah.
All right, I have another question.
Okay.
So, Amazingly Inspired asks, how do you... Oh, I missed it. Hold too many comments. How do you come up with the right prices for desserts?
Someone take my price on confidence class.
Yeah, take her price and confidence class, to be honest. But a ballpark view of it would be price out your items.
Yes.
See how much it costs you.
Yes.
And how much do you want to pay yourself that you're going to make for what you need.
Yes. So in the class, Tasha is taking the class.
Yes.
In the class, I am 100% a hard ass on you because I refuse for you to leave my class without understanding all the ins and outs, becoming legitimate in your home-based business and being confident in your pricing. Okay, knowing how I give you everything you need to go home and put it all out there. Okay, do the math and everything like that because it does take math. People who are artists, which is all of us, we don't want to hear about profit, cost of labor, like homework.
Like
we charge.
Are you crazy?
People don't want to have to think that hard. They just want to create and give. But what I learned in art school was, oh, you want to be an artist and cool, but you got to stop for a moment and really think about the business side of things. And if you could take 1 or 2 days to think about the business side of things, trust me, you'll be better off. Even if you're not even pricing correctly, the fact that you stop to think about it so you can get the ball rolling. And I think the best place to start off with is first, itemize what you're using and make sure you're charging enough for your time. Cost of labor is very big because a lot of you are working for free. And I at least try to teach my students, and there's a lot of pricing classes out there. And the main point in my class is that I try to teach you guys that at the end of the day, you gotta 1, make sure you're making a profit, and 2, make sure you're paying yourself. If 2 of those things aren't happening, then it's not working.
I feel like that is the biggest struggle, is learning how to price yourself.
Yeah.
And it is a hard feat, because sometimes what you have to learn to understand is you're not the one buying.
Right.
Because I can't afford
it. Listen, child, I ain't buying that one. Okay? I'm not my customer, child. I am not my
which means nothing to you because what your word it means. Listen, if you go to, let's say, like a grocery store, they itemize everything.
Yeah.
The light, the water.
Yeah.
The heat.
Yeah.
The people. The traffic. Everything is itemized on what they're going to charge. So why is it okay for them to do it and you can't? And you always have to remember, you're not the bakery. You're not them. If you're a home base, you can't compare yourself because guess what? They have the foot traffic. So if one person doesn't decide to buy this, someone else is coming behind them to get it.
Right.
Now, when you're home and you're doing that, there's no foot traffic coming in and out. So I'm not going to plead with you because I'm trying to make $1. Now you're going to struggle, and when it's time to increase your prices, you're going to be scared because you're like, oh, my client. Well, that was never your client to begin with.
Yeah.
So take some time to focus and regroup and know which direction you're heading. Another thing with Declutter. The business pages, please. I don't care you went to the beach. I don't care you was hanging with your friend. I don't care you had a $2 drink and you got it for free. That's not my concern. If I'm going on your page and it's a business page, I'm looking for information on what you offer.
Yeah.
At least in the tagline, there needs to be some, and it shouldn't be difficult. Like, I shouldn't be struggling to figure out what is it that you do or how to contact you or how to get your information on the page.
Yeah.
Your That's just too much work, okay?
Yeah.
We live in a microwave society.
I should be able, if you're using social media as far as Instagram as your go-to place for people to find you and look at your work, I should be able to look at the first 6 photos on your Instagram and know what you do. I shouldn't have to search. I should immediately be able to look at the first 6 of that diagram and know what you do. Perfect, she bakes cakes. Then I should be able to automatically be able to find out a way to contact you. If there's a website, if there's a phone number or an email. And one thing that all of you have been doing lately, okay? I'm going to just put everybody in one big ball together. One thing you guys have all been doing lately is forgetting to tell people where the hell you are. How do I know you are in Timbuktu if it don't say you are in Timbuktu?
Exactly. I've been seeing that a lot. And your page is private.
Yeah.
Why?
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
If someone is referring me to you, I don't need to have to wait till you finally log on to approve my request.
Yeah.
I need to be able to get on here and be like, hey, at least if it's going to be that, have a link where I can click to know where I'm going to find what you're providing. I don't have time to be filtering through you was at the beach and you were partying, make a personal page.
Yeah.
But your business page needs to be that.
Yeah.
Also, I had to learn photos are a big deal.
Yeah.
And you know how sometimes you see someone's work and you feel like it's not even all that, but you feel like your work is better, but they're popping, but the presentation of it looks better because it's a clear background, it's wide, it's clear. So I would say invest in that, in a background. And if you don't have a background, get you a white sheet, iron it real good, put it on the wall, tape it up, and put your stuff and take a picture. That's it.
Right. I think starting out in the business community, you should definitely, in at least if you're on whatever social media platform you're on, tell people where you are. Don't just write New York. New York is freaking huge. Okay? What area of New York do you provide your treats for? Also find some contact information. If you say you want them to DM you, that's fine. Whatever you want to do. Excuse me. And then also private pages. I know you may see a lot of people who have a lot of followers and they make their page private. That's a certain thing, but when you start out, I'm not going to go, let me go friend request this person to see what they offer. You're not exclusive like that. You're not exclusive like that for me to want to friend request you to see what you're offering. You're either open to the public or you're not open to the public. So you got to make a decision in your business. And the point about the DM, the reason why I said if you want them to DM you, that's your business. The way you present your business is in the manner in which your customer is going to treat you.
Yeah.
If you are taking pictures of, yourself at the club and shit like that, and then the next day a picture of the cake you made on your dirty ass counter and stuff in the background, trust me, I've been there. I'm speaking from experience, okay? I just had to tell her today to crop out a photo.
No, Amazingly Inspired said keep your business page separate from personal pages.
Exactly.
So that was just, and then Simple Sweet said those white sheets save lives. And Sweeter Than Honey just said white foam boards found at the dollar store.
Dollar store,
Okay,
exactly.
okay.
Now,
Like the project board like you used to
Yeah.
have in school.
Yeah.
Yes.
It doesn't even, and the thing is, it doesn't even need to be that. You can get construction paper. Look up Pinterest tips on how to do food photography. That is one great tip on how to make sure you work towards getting good lighting, and good natural lighting is always the best. But this isn't a photography session. Just do the most simple things. Start off simple. Do not think that you have to be everything to everyone.
Yeah.
Okay, because you're not going to reach your audience. You know, okay, so for example, my audience in the baking community are you guys. You guys, I'm a teacher. I need you guys to take my class. I need students, okay? I'm not going to go out there and gear my classes towards people who are interested in music. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm not going to have, like, me playing piano, me playing guitar, or anything like that. I have to make sure I gear everything I do towards you guys, so I can reach out to the people that want me. Like, that goes for you guys when I was in the baking community. When I was in the baking community baking and taking orders, I had to reach out to my audience of people. My audience of people weren't my neighbors, because they live in the same neighborhood I live in. They can't afford the same cake that I'm trying to sell. My audience were the people who had the money. If I'm doing wedding cakes, who am I going to reach out to? Women in the wedding industry. I'm going to reach out to bridal shops just so they can put my name out there. I'm going to reach out to the mother that I've made her daughter's birthday cake because she just turned 18, because hopefully she reach out to me when her daughter turns however old, gets engaged, and I make the engagement cake. Yeah. I make her wedding cake, and then I make her bridal shower cake. Right, you have a continuous customer
that'll provide you the residual income you need.
Exactly.
So the decluttering helps because you get to sift through the foolishness and to figure out what is it that you need to do. So I posted last Tuesday was taking inventory of things. So we get in the habit of we're taking so many orders that you just start buying stuff.
Right.
And you buying stuff you already have.
Girl.
So
how many cutters do you guys have right now? You don't use.
A FIFO method, okay? First in, first out. And get rid of some of those things. Sell it, donate it to somebody. You know you're not going to use it. So Jelena has a box at home that has a bunch of cookie cutters that she never used because she had money to throw away.
Money to throw away.
Every 5 seconds she had to throw. Ooh, I like that. Ooh, I'm going to do that.
Child, listen, I thought one day I was going to make like this Hello Kitty crab. I thought one day I was going to make these choo-choo train cookies. And then you go to Michael's and then you see cookie cutters on, you know, at Christmas time, all the Christmas cutters go on clearance the day after Christmas. And I'm like, bruh, I don't need all these Christmas cutters. So I have 1,000,001 Christmas trees, okay? I don't need those cookie cutters. Uh-oh. So you have, I decluttered everything recently because I'm doing a pop-up class where we're just going to be trading our stuff. But I decluttered everything. I have too much stuff that you don't need. Don't spend your money in unnecessary places, okay? And be smart with it. If you do use it and you're like, well, this is a special order, like a Christmas tree, maybe you do it, okay? If you do cookies. I don't do cookies. But say, for example, you do like you know, I don't know, what's a theme that...
Listen, Papistry by Sabrina said, oh my God, guilty. And then Florida Bakers Club just said, not the clearance stuff we need. We need that.
Listen, I know what it's like to buy so much stuff. I have so much stuff I'm getting rid of. When my interns come to my house, I'm literally with the box of stuff, like, do you guys need anything? You guys want anything? Like, I'm literally always giving them things. I give them pots and pans. I give them everything because I'm like, I don't need this crap. Like, I don't need any of this stuff. I spend so much money.
You're so excited and, oh, I'm going to do it, but you don't do it.
Right.
What happened?
They're asking to rotate the camera.
Oh, okay. So you guys are watching. I get this all the time. Yeah. You guys are watching us with the camera like this. Oh, well, no. We are like this.
Yes.
But your phone is up like this. And then the problem is your comments are coming up across our faces. In order for this to be a nice, clear, wide image, we have to put it like this, guys. We're sorry and we apologize. But hopefully when you watch the replay, when she uploads
I'll upload it on YouTube. Yeah. I'll put the links and everything up. You can see it clear.
And there won't be any comments.
Yes, and you can post comments there. Please do comment.
The comments are just coming on my face. But y'all can see me over on my Instagram page.
Hey.
Simple Sweet said, I'm addicted to buying silicone molds.
Yes, I have 1,000,001 silicone molds. Why? Because they're fun.
No, why are you buying so many molds?
Because sometimes we think we're going
to Is it making you any money?
It could. Look. Don't come for the silicone molds. Okay? Get rid of your Christmas tree molds.
Good intention said, Tasha.
I'm just asking. Oh, Tasha. I'm just asking, like, why do you have so many molds?
Because we think one day we're gonna use them, but I promise you, you're never gonna make that basketball cake, that baseball cake. You're not gonna make that Nike shoe. So
Even
get rid of
if
that
you
Nike
had a
check that
bakery,
you bought.
okay,
Like,
if you're doing specialty items, then you order for that, which is fine. I do not buy specialty things just because.
Right, specialty.
So if you have footballs and stuff like that because you did something prior, then okay. But not because I went in the store and was like, girl, yes.
Right.
Like,
Simple Sweet says she's preparing for the future. Or she,
that future ain't making you no money, sis.
The one thing, the only
and Good and Sweet Street said, good to have them when you need them. I agree with that one.
I do agree with it's good to have them when
2
you need
years
them.
later?
You never, at least you have it.
She's like, coming.
She's
I'm gonna
angry.
need you to back off a little bit.
Okay.
Look,
And then see now they're coming for you.
Right.
See, Artisan Confections by Anna said, and just when you get rid of it, you need it for an order.
Okay, so tell Anna, act like she gonna get rid of it. Put it in the garbage bag. And tell her she gonna email tomorrow that she need it.
Well,
Knowing
you talking to
darn
Anna.
well- Knowing darn well you're not gonna get. Okay, it's one thing, but it's another thing to keep going into the store. And every time you see something, you're saying, okay, we have to get rid of this bullshit.
Okay, no. All right, so let me put it this way. When you're starting out in the baking community, I know Anna's been in it for a minute. So when you're
So
starting
Anna don't count then.
well, this is the thing. Anna, not that she doesn't count, but when you're starting out, because the original question was, how can I price myself?
Right.
So to go back to that, because we done went off in a tangent.
Okay.
To go back to that, based off of the items that you have, because you started going itemizing, and then you went off in this whole spew about y'all be buying too much shit.
Because declutter, the whole thing is how to declutter your brand, right?
So this is the thing. When you're starting out, you want everything, okay? But take from I've been doing this for 13 years. Take it from some tips that of a person who's been doing this for 13 years. You don't have to buy every new gadget. Maybe we should say it like that. Every new gadget. Like, oh, look, there's this new thing that I hold my camera because I want to record tutorials. Oh, this is a new thing that I can sculpt chocolate, but I've been using this other stuff because I've just been seeing that this is really trendy. Oh, I've seen this new turntable. I mean, my Wilton one's doing me just fine, but I need this new one. If your dollars don't allow you to buy the $45 tool, then you shouldn't be buying it, and maybe you need to wait. Because when I started out in this baking community, I didn't own not one cookie cutter. I didn't own nothing. Nothing. Not even an X-Acto knife. I used to use cups in my mama's kitchen to cut out circles, okay? I used to use butter knives.
They do the job.
Right, and I never had anything. I did everything on my own. And then because when I started getting money, I just started spending it frivolously on random stuff that I never used that was still in its package. Till today, 13 years later, I dug it all up and it's still connected to its package. So the point is that, see? So the point is that if you don't have to buy it, don't. Buy it with a purpose.
Yes.
Because you want to make sure your customer is paying for that.
Exactly.
Not you.
Okay, two things. So Simple Sweet said China has the fanciest molds. 823 Treat said sometimes we order from overseas and it's cheap and we need them, and when we need them, no one local has them.
That's true.
Okay.
That's true.
And now I have someone said Marie Glam ARNP said, can they have advice on marketing strategies?
Oh, okay. So what we were basically saying all kind of fits in with the branding and the marketing. You want to make sure, one, you declutter your social media if that's what you're using. Okay, I'm going to try to calm down because this part, my mind starts to go really fast. I talk faster than I think. So what I've learned through the years is when I go to somebody's websites, and I've been to a lot of you guys' websites, you just don't know it. Sometimes if you guys like a picture, I'll go to your website and be like, oh, I can't look at this website.
It's too much.
It's because your logo has 50 million things going on with it. It has 700 colors. For some reason, everybody's logo in the last 3 years have been them, and this is not me hating on your logos, I'm just telling you what I've been seeing. Everybody's logos has been them drawn, it's them drawn, with a platter of everything they bake. Cake pops, cookies, candy, everything on the platter or everything right there. I love the drawings of everybody, I think that's adorable. But does it speak to who you are? My branding, if you don't know who I am, hi, I'm Jelena from More Cake Yes, I'm Badass Edible Art, and everything I do is badass. I don't let people forget that. So I make sure everything I do reflect who I am. And I make sure that happens, okay? So make sure everything you do, this is your business, this is your bread and butter, this is your baby. You are building this from nothing. It's an idea you had in your mind, right? So what you want to do is make sure it reflects who you are. If you are just making these cookie cutter logos because everybody else has them, it doesn't reflect who you are. You're just going with the flow of what everybody else is doing. Set yourself apart. Learn to go, if I ask you today, if you were in front of Shark Tank and I asked you today, what makes you more different than all the other baking companies out there? What could you tell me? Think about that question. Think about, well, what sets me apart?
Yeah.
And don't go searching for new recipes. Anybody can make a damn box vanilla cake or make a vanilla cake from scratch.
And
you're not reinventing.
Doctor it up, it's scratch.
Right.
Okay.
You're not reinventing anything. But find a way to have your business speak to who you are. Okay? I'm just one badass motherfucker who's a mom of 2 kids running shit in her own life. I'm the head bitch in charge, and I will never let anybody forget it, and I don't want anybody put me down on it. But that's me. You gotta speak to who you are. If your culture, if you're Haitian, I would expect, because she's Haitian, and I don't mean like, oh, she's just Haitian, because I'm Polynesian. But I'm not like Polynesian and everything I do is Polynesian. No, she Haitian and everything she do is Haitian, child. She made Haitian spaghetti.
Oh,
so I would expect
that outline of Haiti is in her logo.
Right. Okay, exactly.
Okay.
I would expect some Haitian flavors. I would expect some Haitian culture to come from her brand.
To get my ingredients.
Right.
That just me. That doesn't mean you have to do it.
No. But I'm saying that's what sets you apart.
Yeah.
If I was to ask you that question and say what sets you apart, you would say what I create speaks to my culture.
Yeah.
I make sure I outsource my ingredients from my homeland. That's what you would tell me.
TT Street said, yeah. And then Diana Harwood said, yay for the Zoes.
So with the marketing, what I've been finding out is on your following, declutter it as well. So what I started doing was your followers for following.
Yeah.
So the people you're following, if on my personal, on my Sell More Juice page, the business page, I reduced it down to like maybe 120, and I have 1,010 followers or something like that.
Right.
And what I started noticing that I started getting more hits, and I started posting tasty posts. So if you look on the Bakers Connect, when I'm talking about the Bakers Brunch that's coming, I started outlining what I want. So what I'm getting from it, what you're going to get from it, this is the solution,
right.
And here are the results and where to go get it. And it's been working.
Right, but she's just talking social media, okay?
Well,
now,
marketing and social media, I can't say in other, because I did do door-to-door marketing, it didn't work. But what I noticed with that is you have to find the area in which it'll actually work for you. Because I hate when people say, well, find your target market or your target customer. Well, how the hell do I do that? You're just telling me to find it, but you're not telling me what to do.
Okay.
And when you go
so to find your target audience, you have to first figure out what you're doing. Because I can't go, well, I'm just baking cakes, so I need to find somebody who wants these cakes. No. That's such a broad, you need to be more specific. Who are you baking cakes for? I'm baking cakes for birthday parties, for children's birthday parties. Where are children going to be at, right? There's schools, there's daycares, there's camps, there's summer camps. We want mommy and me clubs. You want to reach out to them. And then, hold on. And then you go, well, this is my dollar bracket. This is how much I'm selling my product for. Who can afford this product? Okay? Well, it's not the people who are moms who can't afford to take their kids to daycare. And I'm just talking in business-wise, okay? This has no shade on anybody. Who can't afford to take their kids to daycare because they can't afford to spend that money. That's not my customer. My customer is a mom or a dad, a family who can take their kids to Disney parks and all this because the prices of my cupcakes and my cakes are so extravagant. That's what I'm looking for. And I'm just talking extravagant, but you can do, I'm just talking high dollar. It doesn't even have to be high dollar. You have to look for your price point also. There's certain areas, like I'm not going to sell my bun cakes to high school children. That doesn't make sense. You understand what I'm saying? So you have to research who your audience is, who your customer is. If Michael's Arts and Crafts today could tell you who their customers are, guess who they would say? They would say moms, single women who enjoy crafting and DIYing, stay-at-home moms, old ladies, like that's who their target audience is.
I'm sorry, 823 Treat said until tax time, then everybody can afford it.
That is true. I am waiting on that. So if you haven't purchased your ticket for the Baker's Brunch Orlando, I'll be waiting for you. Come tax time. I am waiting. I understand the struggle.
Right.
And you know,
I do
sometimes
too.
and it gives people extra confidence. Well, that's fine. Confidence your way over to the Baker's Connection. Go ahead, hit the link. It's in the bio. Purchase the ticket.
It gives people extra confidence. Just confidence your way over to the
I'm
Baker's.
just saying. There's payment plans available if you need to send me an email. I got you. Okay? I'm just saying. But
Why she ungracefully plugs in what she does. Let me plug in mine. Okay. So this year I got my HBIC tour. If you guys are interested in business classes, if you guys are interested in artistic cake classes, wedding cake classes, I take beginners with experience. Beginners with experience means you have to have worked with at least fondant and frosted a cake before. Check out my classes on my website, my Instagram. You guys will see in her last post. She tagged me in my last post. You can go to my page there if you guys want to follow me. Yeah.
And then here's another thing about the marketing. Be mindful of those vendoring events.
Oh, child. Don't be vendoring everywhere.
I lost so much money.
Yes.
One year when I actually did my taxes for Segundos, I think I'm gonna say I was in the hole. I was negative $5,000, and I could have cried because I don't know where that $5,000 came from. What I did with it,
I don't know.
That's my boyfriend.
Oh yeah.
What's he talking about?
Yeah, I don't know. That's
He said something. No hand holding.
No
free
free
cupcakes.
cupcakes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see. That's the case part.
and I lost so much money. Be mindful on what type of vending event you're doing, and that's actually going to generate you a profit. I wouldn't suggest a nonprofit situation or like empowerment places. I did one like that and didn't sell not one, and I even had brought it down to $1.
Well, okay. So let me say this: vending places, working at doing markets and stuff like that, food markets, and doing cupcake sales and things. It doesn't work for everybody. It didn't work for me. The reason is because what I was providing was something more artistic, where I was like, look at these glamorous flowers I put on the cake, right? Whereas if you go to a farmer's market, they're looking for natural tastes, they're looking for beautiful ingredients, and I was like, trying to make this from a box cake. You know what I mean? I mean, it tastes hella good, I doctored it up, but look at these beautiful flowers. My branding wasn't fitting to where I was selling. Okay, some people make beautiful homemade, that word homemade look creations, and they can sell at farmers markets and things like that. You just have to make sure your product fits where you're going.
Yes.
Okay. So don't do anything for free and just for clout. Like don't do anything for the shout out. Like, don't do that.
Mr. Boyfriend said don't get paid with promises.
That's okay. Because there's a story. I don't even know if I should tell this story.
Tell the story.
Say this, I should tell the story.
Tell the story.
So let me tell y'all a story, all right? Me and my man who's in here. Hi, baby, I miss you. I'm gonna try to make this as quick as possible. I don't know, child. Like I'm sitting here with you. I have no idea. It'll tell her. It'll show up on her on Tasha's phone.
What do y'all want to know?
No, it'll show on Tasha's phone how much time we have left. Not now. It'll pop up saying we have 10 minutes left or something.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so long story short, I used to vendor at a lot of different places. At one of the places, and I didn't make any money. But at one of the places, and my man had my back every time. He was there holding me down, bringing in cupcakes for me. Like, he's still holding me down, okay? Shout out to my boo, thanks.
Hey, boo.
Hey, boo. So, long story short, I met this woman there. She was very dolled up, very glamorous. She could tell she had a lot of money. It was in Miami when I used to live there. And she came up to me, and she was all like, she gassed me up. She was like, oh, I think you'll be awesome at my event, this and this and that and that. She gassed me up so much, she told me how she was going to be on The Real Housewives of Miami. Because they hadn't filmed their first season yet. So she was telling me she was going to be in the first season of The Real Housewives of Miami. And that the Real Housewives of Miami were going to be at her grand opening of her spa down in Miami Beach, right? So I was like, great, I'll be there. I'm going to make this glamorous cake for you. Everything. I'll have cupcakes, everything. And because she promised me exposure, we get to the place. It was just everybody's just running amok, and it was just a mess. The place was beautiful, but the way it was being run around, and it just was a mess. When they got on stage at the end of the night, me and my man were standing there. All my cupcakes are gone because people have taken them off the table. Everything's gone. Everybody's eating it. I had this centerpiece. She told me this long story about the sadness of her mom dying, and she wanted the cake to represent her mother and her, so I made the cake to look like the dress that her mother wore, and all of this other stuff, right? So sentimental. She gassed me up so much. Me and my man are standing there, and she's giving a speech, and she says, I've told this story once before. She says, I want to thank 2 girls and a cupcake for making this cake for me. Now, at the time, my business name was Yes Ma'am, Sweets from the Kitchen.
Wow.
And
there's a girls and a cupcake.
Yeah, no, there's in Miami. There's 2 girls and a cupcake in Miami.
Wow.
And on their flyer that I didn't know existed at the time, on the flyer it said 2 girls and a cupcake. They didn't put my logo on it, even though I had sent it in. Okay? My man looked at me, and everybody standing around me who was eating the cupcakes goes, wait, isn't your business name, they picked up my business, isn't your business name Yes Ma'am? Isn't your business name Yes Ma'am? They all were saying that, like, isn't this the cake you made? And she said, where are you? Come up here. Thank you, 2 girls. And I just stood there because I was so embarrassed. I had invited my father to come. My man was there. I was hella embarrassed, child. Hella embarrassed. I just grabbed my stuff and I walked out. Because at the end of the day, the biggest moments of my life that I have succeeded were my biggest failures. Okay? You think about that. Every moment that I have failed, I've overcome it. I've learned to succeed. And I didn't get any advice when I started this. There was nobody that I could talk to.
Yeah.
Nobody. There was no social media platforms to talk to people. There was no classes. Okay? So because of that, I learned long time ago to go, hell no, I'm not doing nothing for a shout out. I don't give a fuck about your shout out. Give me some money. Shout outs don't pay my bills. Okay? I need some money. Okay? So that's just a learning experience that I went through. Not everybody's the same, because I had superstars or rappers reach out to me to make their cake, and they were like, make my cake and I'll take a picture with you.
No.
Rappers, famous people be the broke people, child. They be the brokest people because they don't want to pay the money. They think they should get everything for free.
Yeah.
So just watch out for that.
Papa Street by Sabrina said, I would have been pissed. Well, the consensus is they can't believe that, but
right.
Papa Street by Sabrina said, I would have been pissed and professionally made that correction. So I have a question. Why didn't you make that correction?
I didn't make the correction. One, I was in the business. It was still early on. I think I was only in it for 3 years. I still didn't know what I was doing. I was working a 9-to-5 job. And this was kind of like my full-time, part-time job that I did. And I didn't really know how to handle that. The person that I am, I'm very much like in your face, like help. But it was like, I saw her on a different platform. It wasn't just like some regular lady. Like, there was cameras following her around. There was like a whole camera crew following her around. She didn't end up being on the show, so you guys won't know who I'm talking about. But I was like so stunned, I didn't know what to do. You know what I mean? I was taught never to show my ass, and my dad was there, so it was like, okay, so I'm not about to show my ass.
I don't have that level of
so I
feel like I'm working. I could say I had a situation and she had to bring me down. I don't have that level of, oh hell no.
Right.
Okay? Because what you're not going to do is give somebody else the credit after I made all this work. But I can understand where you are in that moment and not being able to
her business. Okay, so here's 2 things. Business wise, in a professional manner, I could have gone up to her and said, what the hell was that about? Whatever. Giving her the professional fuck you, which is what I like to call it. Mm-hmm. And then my personal side. You guys don't know me personally, but
touch it.
Yeah. So y'all don't know me personally, but personally, I don't know how to keep my hands to myself when stuff like this happens. But I have to sometimes remove myself.
Yeah.
I have to mentally go, let me remove myself.
The brand is bigger.
The brand is bigger. And then because I always have to think, if I do something or say something that shows my ass, how am I going to feel later about that? Did the situation get rectified? Do I feel better about it? And at the end of the day, I felt like she didn't deserve from a moment of my time. I just knew at that moment, I lived and learned, and I said, I'm good with it. It takes a lot to like offend me to get me rowdied up, and it was like I've learned from it. And I'm glad I've learned from that because it's never happened again. Like, I've never had that situation where somebody said, shout out to 2 girls with a cupcake. And my ass is standing there like, what the fuck?
Well, TT Street says the ones that can pay don't want to pay.
Exactly.
And then Elite Creations by Thrisha says, yes, I went through that phase as well. As always the ones with money that want everything for free.
Yes, they do. They feel like they can give you like a presence, but keep your presence.
Keep your presence,
my
child.
lights need to be on.
My lights need to be on, child.
And they don't care about, oh, well, such and such said they were going to, Floyd Mayweather said he was going to give me a shout out, so can you pause on the bill? I'll be back.
Right.
Simple Sweet said, Jelena, do you feel it was intentional or an honest mistake? That's a good question because their logo wasn't on the flyer too.
Okay, so this is the thing. I felt like it was they didn't mean to do it. I full on felt like they didn't mean to do it. But when I said I showed up, because I was trying to make a long story short, when I showed up and everything was in disarray, like everybody was running in circles, what I was learning is her assistant didn't have their stuff together because I had to send the logo twice. He was like, oh, you didn't send me the logo. And I was like, yeah, I did. And then you replied back, oh, I got your logo, this and this and that and that. So when I sent my logo again, and he goes, okay, cool, got it. I knew they got it. I just think they reached out to 2 Girls and a Cupcake because around this time, 2 Girls and a Cupcake in Miami had just opened up their bakery. I don't know if they're still there or not. If they're still in business.
I think they're still in business.
Yeah.
I've seen the logo.
Because I think they've had like 2.
emojis.
Yeah, they've had like 2 bakeries. They had just opened up their first bakery down there, and I feel like she may have went to them and they had quoted her, and she was like, no. And she saw me as the guinea pig who didn't know what I was doing. I was like a deer in headlights. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. Someone saves me. Someone. So I think she preyed on that and she saw that weakness in me. And 100% that was a weakness in me because I didn't know what I was doing in the business. You know what I mean? And then it wasn't until when she said it, I was like, well, there's that. And now I'm going. Because I don't know, at the moment I don't know how to do the professional fuck you. Like, we appreciate your business, man, but no more, okay? I don't know how to do that because I didn't know how to do that because then I was very like, okay.
Here's another thing. The purpose of Bakers Connect was I moved to Orlando. I'm a flight attendant by day. So I don't have the luxury of saying I work where I live. So it's no word of mouth for me. My word of mouth are the people in the air. Well, guess what? I was in Denver yesterday, so guess what? They're not here. So it gives you room to talk to people.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you want to reach out to people and you don't know what to say.
Yeah.
And all you have to do is like, hey, do you mind?
Yeah.
Is it okay? Some people tell you no. Some people give you an attitude. Who cares? I mean, you don't need to talk to them and keep moving.
Yeah. And the thing is, no, because I'm seeing comments here. I see like Sabrina had said like being in management helps. So this is the thing. I've been in management my entire adult life, not even my entire, from teenager, from the day that I started working on, I've always been a manager of something, a supervisor. So it was never a problem for me to speak for the company because I knew the company would back me. I had that backing. But when it was me starting my business, it was me.
It's different.
It was just the me. There was no one else to go, nah, see, because we got this money behind us and you ain't gonna front us like that. It was just me who wasn't pricing myself right, who didn't know what she was doing, who I was just here trying to give a cupcake, somebody take a cupcake from me. I didn't know what I was doing. So in that situation, it wasn't even like let me take my management skills from that I've been doing my entire life and put forth to this business. It was a total different situation because now it wasn't like I had a boss to back me up. Now I'm like the boss.
Yeah.
Right? Now it's like, okay, Jelena, you need to stand by what you about to go tell this woman, but what you want to tell this woman is, bitch, you done lost your mind. But see, I didn't have that professional fuck you in my own business at the time.
Or I would say good friends. I had a situation where
Sabrina said, true, I see your point.
Right.
Someone sent me an email. We had an event.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, can I have my money back? So I was like,
oh. I'm like, wait, what? What are you talking
Well, you have to
about?
say she didn't come to the event.
Yeah.
She missed it.
She didn't come. I was like, can I have my money back? So originally, me regularly was like, well, I ain't answering this shit. Yes, it was whatever. But my friends had to be like, well, no, you have to say something. So they'll like give me feedback on how to make it nice, because sometimes you know how you type, how you speak, and that's not right. Yeah. So sometimes you do need to take a step back and just read. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying?
Your branding can be you. When this goes back to like the branding that we're talking about, your brand, your business can be you, but it doesn't have to be like you from Dade County. Okay? There's a difference between being from Miami, and we all know this from people who've lived in Miami. There's a difference from being from Miami and from being Dade County child. There's a difference from being from Fort Lauderdale and Fort Lickadale. All right? There's that difference. So you got to kind of go, okay, I'm not from Fort Lickadale, I'm from Fort Lauderdale. Let me have that professionalism in me.
And
but also let me be stern. Yeah, exactly.
That's just life. Like, you know, I like to shop at coupons and clearance, and if there's no red tag, it's not for me. Okay? Shayna can tell you guys, I don't like to spend. It makes me itch. I don't care how you feel about it. I don't like it. Okay? I feel like my coinage needs to stay in my pocket. Yeah. Unless we're going to Scotch trade, I don't want to spend no money.
Hey, that damn Tam said, I remember when that happened.
Hey, Tam.
And Back Pew Pro said, Miami with the fire emoji.
Hey. But yeah, I think when you're starting out in the business, if you've been in the business and you're wondering why it's not taking off in the manner in which you want, because successful is different for everybody, okay? Yes. It's different for everybody. Yes. You don't have to do what I'm doing to be successful. You can do whatever you want to do to be successful.
Find what it means to you.
Right. But there's just certain, and this is just from our point of view of what we've learned, what works for us. And I think you just need to maybe see what other people's errors were, get in your own errors, fail yourself, so that way you can go, okay, now I've learned something from this. Yes. Or I've heard maybe I should kind of stay far from this, and maybe I should take accountability for this. And, you know, it's hard to start a business. It's not easy. It's very hard. And
let's talk about when you are starting it, the lazy part. And I was telling Dylan this earlier.
Go ahead. What were you telling
that lazy?
Yeah, child.
So because it's like you're expecting things, and I know I have not been doing what I need to do. Right. So there's no one else to blame. So I can't blame anyone else because I have a bullshit expectancy, because I know I'm not doing what I need to do.
Repeat that. Bullshit what?
Expectancy.
I'm sorry. Repeat that one more time. You have a bullshit what?
Expectancy.
Right.
But I feel like I know what I need to do. You have to learn how to get out of your own way. And that's very hard in a sense, because sometimes you're going, and you feel like nothing is happening. So you get discouraged and you give up. I mean, we're human.
I don't need to say nothing. I'm going to sit back here. I'm going to co-sign what she's preaching my word. I'm going to co-sign what she's saying. Go ahead, girl.
Because you're human. And at times you get discouraged. Situations happen. I had a situation. I had to tell Jelena, was like, look, this situation happened. It kind of knocked me off my rockers. And it's not to say that I'm not confident in what I do and who I am, because I am. But it didn't take away from the fact that I'm human. And it's okay to say, I really didn't like this, and it threw me off for a little bit. So just give me a second to get back to it. But I'm still on it. It didn't. I was off, but it didn't stop my regular posting. It didn't stop me doing for what I needed to do. It's just an internal battle, and sometimes you have to be able to understand you're human, but still get on your shit. I'm being lazy right now, but I need to get on my shit. I have no money in my bank account because I'm not on my shit.
Preach. Keep going, girl.
How are you? Oh my God! You don't understand. You don't understand. I was cussing her out earlier, okay? And I don't know, the lights, camera, action came out. Goddamn, girl.
I told you I can do this for everybody else, but it's hard to take y'all.
My bad.
You know, I got this out. Listen, I'm trying to take it back now. I need my money. So
I didn't rearrange the whole living room. My bad.
She did, y'all. But
listen,
but and she'll tell you, I'll call her and be like, you know. So she gave me a whole. Okay, I went to Atlanta, and she was like, you need to have your homework and figure out what you want to do. So I had to stop baking for a year because it wasn't fun anymore. Yeah. I wasn't happy in it. I was getting a headache. Shannon's always going off. You need to just do one thing. I think you should just focus on cookies. And I'm like, no, because that shit ain't gonna make me no money. It's not like sugar cookies, y'all, because I ain't got time. It was chocolate chip cookies that my friends fight over with the pecans in it. Because it's amazing.
Question. I ain't got no chocolate
I asked yesterday because she made some chocolate chip cookies
Yeah.
and I didn't get an answer, so I kind of just
I
just love her.
But anyway, and when she said, "What do you want to do?" It's easy to be like, "Oh, I want to do this."
Right.
But I had to stop to be like, "Well, what is it that I really want to do?" And I had to be like, honestly, I don't know.
Right.
I don't know anymore. I feel like I started Bakers Connect. Do I want to bake or do I want to do this?
Marie said, "Lord, those cookies." And Tanshay said, "Hey."
Hey!
They know about the cookies.
See, y'all.
Next
time y'all get to share with me.
I still have to make dinner tonight.
Listen,
So.
right. Talk about she gonna make some steak.
I am. I'm going to make steak, you guys.
Listen,
You're back on topic.
It is.
Huh?
If someone was to ask you right now, what makes you stand out from the rest of the baking community, if that's what you're doing, no matter what your business is, because sometimes people ask business advice and you're not even here for the baking.
Yeah.
If what stands out, that's your moment to sit back and really reflect on what do I want to do, what are my options, how am I going to do this, and then make a plan. Okay, because first you got to think about it, then you got to research about it and start making a plan, and then that's great. So really, that three part,
I was good at that part.
right? She's great at that part. She can make a list for days, child. But great, you have your list. No judgment-free zone, just real shit. You have your list of what you should be doing, but it don't mean nothing unless you execute it, unless you're putting it to work. I make a list every day of my life. For the last 15 years, I've made a list every day of my life. That list consisted of me vacuuming. It consisted of me making my bed, washing my clothes, brushing my teeth, running these errands, making this money. How am I going to make this money? Bake these cakes. And then every time I finish it, I cross it off the list because that satisfaction of getting something done, even if it was just brushing it, child, just
Okay, I did something.
Boom,
today.
I did something today. What else I got to do? Run to the store?
I had this thing with my godmother that we call each other and be like, "Well, what did you do new?
Right.
What did you learn new?" Even if it was you read a book, you read a line in something, or you found an information, like someone taught you something, you learned something new. And what I would do is, for me, if I'm on Instagram promoting, doing marketing, I'm scrolling through different people's pages to see, okay, what is it that I'm missing? Another thing, if you have a business page on Instagram, make sure it's a business account because it gives you insights. It gives you your audience. So how we were talking about finding a target audience, it'll give that to you. It'll let you know this percentage of male, this percentage of women, at this time this post work, at this time you have a higher feed, at this time not so much. So I know to post at 9 a.m., 3 p.m., 6 p.m., and at midnight. Because
when you get the most engagement.
Yes. So it gives you
that's what I was going to say earlier when she was touching base on that.
That goes back to marketing.
Right. When you go do social media and stuff like that, just know the amount of followers you have and likes you have don't equate the amount of dollar bills you're getting in. Okay? You guys go, "Oh, look at this, I got 1,000 likes on my photo. That's so crazy. I'm trending. Look, I'm trending." And that's great. But did you make money today? Was that trending equivalent to the dollar amount that you were making? Okay? That's why I said the post that you do needs to be geared towards your customer. Because us as cake artists will then, yes, of course, come and love on your cake. But we ain't your customer, child. You need to make sure you go hashtag I live in Orlando cakes, hashtag cake. So people
look through the hashtags.
Right. But also, my biggest problem with social media is everybody lives their life on social media. There's a whole goddamn world out there, okay? That's why we're doing those meetups. So if you live in Orlando, check out the meetup we have going on. We're going to do indoor skydiving.
Yes.
But you have to talk to customers out in the real world. Social media is just one entity.
Brand.
Yeah, exactly.
A shirt. When I first started, I would go to the fingering event.
Yeah.
Shane and I would do iron-ons, and I would iron on my logo.
Make your shirts, right?
So people would be like, "Hey, what is that? Oh, this is what I do." Or don't be afraid to talk to people. I know a lot of us when we're out, we're afraid to say things, and you just kind of stay in the room and just but you have to be able to work the room. To me, it's an acting job. Turn on.
Right.
And then when you go home, turn off.
Cakes and Crabs by Cass said hello.
Hey Cass, hi.
And then 823 Treat said, "Are you guys going to be at SoFlo?"
I will not be teaching at SoFlo this year, and I'm not sure if I'll be demoing. I demoed the last two SoFlos, but yes, I will be there. So make sure you guys find me in the crowd.
can't guarantee it. She's trying to convince me to go to sofa.
She needs to come. You need to come.
She's going to sofa.
Yeah, okay.
We're gonna go.
Shayna says she's going, so she's going.
Yeah.
So we're going to sofa. Yeah, we're going to be there.
The only MJ said hi.
Hi. The girl from the class she was sitting next to you.
Oh,
yeah.
Listen, I have to see you.
I know. But her name on Instagram is different than her name is Brenda.
Okay, so let me wrap it up. Maybe I've been keeping you guys for too long. What time is it?
I don't know. No, that was an hour. So if you guys are just joining us, hi, welcome to Tip Tuesday here in Baker's Connect in Orlando, Florida. Tasha was kind enough to invite me here to. I jumped on a flight and got here.
She did.
Literally from Atlanta, jumped on a flight to get here. And so we've just been taking questions and kind of answering branding and decluttering your business.
Yes.
Information and kind of just going off on a little bit more of a
So
tangent.
if you have questions, let me just wrap up with declutter.
Hey, before you do that, Jam's Cake said, hi, Huns. I caught the tail end, but we'll rewatch.
Awesome.
Yes, and I need you to fly in for Tip Tuesday if you don't mind. But we're going over decluttering, how to declutter your brand when you have so many ideas and avenues and you don't know which way to go. So pretty much we talked on find what you want to do and make that the path. And then once you perfect that, then you can start to add things on. But don't overwhelm yourself to keep up with the Joneses because you're just going to have a headache and the money is not worth it.
Right.
Also, find a better way of marketing. Declutter your pages. We don't want to see your personal information. Your business page don't need to be private, especially if you only have like 200 followers. Please, we need to be able to see what's going on. Also, show where you stay. Make sure your Instagram page is a business page. Anything that's business, make sure it's a business page because Instagram does give you the insights and it helps you find your target audience.
Right.
To be honest, that's what worked for me. Also, what did we go over?
Island Gal Delights said, hey ladies, can't wait until the next Baker's Connect brunch.
Hey, we're gonna have so much fun. I got some plans. I got some fun stuff planned for what
And the only MJ said that's why I have two pages. I'm assuming.
Oh yes, I do.
Your personal.
Well, I have several different pages. Same thing. So it's easier to keep, professional and business separate.
Yes.
Sometimes in the social media world, people love to see your personal life because people love to see other people who have something they don't have, and people love to see you in a mess, right? Because they don't have to worry about the mess that they're in. So it's just easier, I think if you're gonna ever share anything personal on your business page, let it be on your Insta story or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. It doesn't have to necessarily be a forever photo, right? Like if you're using social media as a platform to sell your product, that would be my advice. But if you're just using social media to post stuff, then whatever. I think from my lasting words, I appreciate everybody coming in, and I appreciate Shayna and Tasha for hosting me and letting me come and kind of camp out at their dining room table with. I got
next
my
time
whole
she's gonna
setup.
bring babies so they can make noise.
Ain't nobody bring no babies out.
She a hater.
But I appreciate you guys allowing me to come. Make sure you guys check out my HBIC tour at morecakeym.com.
Yes.
Or you can just go to my Instagram page, which is
or online and then
my Instagram page is on her Instagram page in the last post. It's yes_ma'am_sweets. I have classes, I have tutorials, I have my YouTube channel. Check out my YouTube tutorials, which I have to upload tonight.
Yes.
And also her Baker's Connect, that's in September.
Yeah, so we're having Baker's Connect. Baker's Brunch talk dirty to me. So we're going to dress up in the hats.
Right.
It's going to be so cute.
Right.
So make sure you come. The site, the link is in the bio. I have all the information. You'll see the presenters. You'll see the speakers. All that information will be on there. We're going to have shirts also. So when you purchase your ticket, you'll see all that information on there. Also, I do have payment plans available. If you need one, just send me an email.
I'm excited.
Me too.
I got something planned.
I'm excited to dress up.
Yeah. It's just because I'm determined. I'm going to get this hat. It's going to be so... Or I can get a bow tie way. I'm not sure yet. No, I don't even know. I don't know yet.
Get your hats.
Yeah.
I posted some different outfits and
Kentucky Derby theme.
Yeah.
Yes, that you can choose from. If you guys have any questions, please let me know. let me know what else you kind of want to see on the next Tip Tuesday. I'm going to try to have different people, like an event planner, a florist, so we can have different perspectives because we're all connected.
Right.
And Nisha Touche said, dang, I'm all late.
Yes, we started at 7.
Catch us on the next one, Nisha.
Yeah, but I'm going to upload it to you, so I'm going to try to figure that out and how to do it. But she's here, listen.
Yes, but she's saying I'm here because I'm the one going to be figuring it out and doing it.
Because y'all, listen, I don't know, okay? Photoshop is the devil. Go.
That you don't know that we're going to be doing. Okay, so I got to plug something really quick. When we go off of here, make sure you hit me up over on my Instagram page. We're going to go live for a couple of minutes, nothing too long, because I need to tell you guys some exciting information that I have yet to post. So.
And I don't know what you're talking about, so
you do know, but she didn't know I was going to do that.
Hey, but 823 Treats just got back in. She said, did you guys answer the SoFlo question? It got cut out. So you guys answer that question just one more time.
Yes, so we answered it when we came back, but to repeat it, I will be at SoFlo this year. I'm not teaching and I'm not demoing so far that I know, but I go to SoFlo every year because I like to get with the cake community and see what's going on. I like to be around other cakers and bakers and things like that. If you see me there, or if see me on my Instagram when I'm live, come check me out in the crowd. She's definitely gonna come to hang out, so hopefully we get to meet you. Yeah.
But definitely come to the Bakers Connect. Also in April, we're having a meetup. We're gonna do indoor skydiving. We'll see how that goes, because
that's what we're gonna talk about in the next one. So check me out in the next 15 minutes on my Instagram, and we'll talk about it.
Okay. Bye, you guys.
Bye.
If you have any more questions we didn't answer, just go ahead and send it to me, and I'll have it on the next one. Any questions? There are no questions to mention?
No.
Bye.
Nope, we're good.
Okay.
Bye-bye.